What's going on, man? It's Vash, and I want to talk about Hinomaru Zumou for a second because they've been releasing chapters like a motherfucker. Like, for a long time, it went like periods of time without a single chapter being released. Like, it went a long fucking time without a chapter being released. Like, I remember the chapter that I did was like 80 and 81. And then, like, for just a string of fucking, like, days, it was, like, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87. I was just like, whoa, what the fuck? So, for a long time, they weren't coming out. And then all of a sudden, they're just picking back up. So, I was just kind of like, is it rushing towards its end? What the fuck is happening? Like, why are we getting all these chapters so quickly? But I think it's just a translation thing here in America, you know what I mean, with the website. I don't want to name the website that I go to, but I think it's just a thing here. I didn't realize that staffing and all that sort of stuff is kind of down. You know, they kind of go through periods of time where they don't have the luxury to translate this or translate that, and they have to stick with what people want and all that sort of stuff, and, you know, it's whatever. So I know that probably looking forward to the Hinomaru Zumou reviews and all that sort of stuff, and I do want to do them, you know what I'm saying. One came out today. Well, I'm sorry, two came. Well, technically one came out today, but the one that was also released first was chapter 86, but it was just 85 done again from what I read. Like, it was still 85, but just done again. It was just the same shit over again. So I don't know what the fuck that means, but 87 came out, you know, and it was Hinomaru meeting a former Yokozuna and all that sort of stuff, and he didn't even last 10 seconds. I mean, 5 seconds with that motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? But he feels blessed, he's overwhelmed, and all that sort of stuff. But that's not even what I want to talk about for the most part. I don't even want to talk about what happened in the chapter. I want to talk about a thing that I saw in the comment section as I was going through the chapter. I saw someone say, let me pull it up, I don't want to misquote them, you know what I'm saying? But I saw it, and I was just kind of like, huh, that's interesting, because I didn't know that this subject hadn't happened yet. You know what I'm saying? So let me just go ahead and see. Was it 86, 85? I think, no, it was 86. It was 86. Okay. It was 86. It was this 86, because the first 86 I read was just 85 again, but this one was the true 86. It was this 86. All right, so in this, at the very end or whatever, we see Reina saying, she says, you're falling for him, or something like that. Yeah, you falling for him, right? I can't blame you. So you hear that, right? And that's her that's saying that, right? Or she's having an inner thought to herself or something like that. Or someone saying that shit to him. I mean, to her. I'm assuming that someone's saying that shit to her because of the way that she's looking. I'm assuming that it was the trainer who was saying that shit to her, or she was having some sort of inner monologue, whatever. But someone said his name is non-existent. It's a person on this website named non-existent. And he says, new skill earned. Ship starts sailing, and old man got trolled. Best chapter ever. And the new skill earned, that is true. Hinomaru did a technique where he did a feint where he was going to he acted like he was going to throw him, then he went for a strike, then he went for a reverse sort of throw thing. That was dope as fucking even I wasn't expecting it. Then, oh my god, these fucking like fruit fly gnat things are pissing me off. Then he went the new skill earned, that was dope. Old man getting trolled, the 100 yen thing. Some dude showed up with food. He had to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? Cool. You know what I'm saying? He did get trolled. But the ship start sailing thing, I was like, you think that shit is just now coming into play? Because I thought that the situation between him and Reina was kind of like, well, not him per se, but Reina having feelings for Ushio was already there. I thought it was like, I thought nothing. Like, when I saw that chapter, I was just more like, oh, okay, that's more confirmation than anything. But it wasn't like, oh man, I wonder like if she likes him or not. I've always felt that she had liked Ushio or Hinomaru. I've always felt that way. So when I saw that, I was just kind of like, huh, that's something that's new to you. Like, I think for me, especially more recently, that it was cemented in chapter 70. What the fuck chapter was that? It was 70 something. Remember when he went to talk to her? He was like, hey, can I talk to you for a second? But even before then, when they first introduced her character, I was kind of like, I can tell that she's going to be the one who's going to end up falling for him. She's going to have these feelings for him because she just seemed that way. She just seemed like she was kind of a bitch. You know what I'm saying? In the beginning, I kind of didn't like her. I was kind of like, we got another one of these characters who just gonna be talking all this shit, who just gonna undermine everything. She was almost like what's her name? Erina from fucking Shokugeki no Soma. She was almost like that. Like where when you first meet, you're just like, oh my god, this character is such a bitch. But you can tell that even I don't know who Soma's gonna end up with, but you can tell that she even before she found out that his dad was Yoichiro Saiba, you could just tell that something was gonna come from that. Her attitude towards Soma wasn't as nasty as it was in the beginning. It seemed like she had kind of let that shit go. She was still looking down on him, but the strictly negative attitude she had was just starting to die down. And that's how I feel with Reina and Ushio. She kind of had this weird sort of attitude towards him, I guess because she just looked down on his aspirations and his dreams, and this dude made my brother do this, and my brother's changing because of this guy, blah blah blah. And it seemed like she was looking down on him for like a long period of time, you know what I'm saying? But after a while, the attitude started to change, and just their interactions with one another, I'm just like, yeah, I can just tell that she likes him. So when I read that comment, I was just kind of like, wow, I thought that was already implied early on. I didn't think that was a topic of discussion because they went out. Like these comments kind of went down for like a long way talking about that specifically. They specifically talked about the shipping and the pairing between those two. And I was just kind of like, wow, that's weird that that's the topic of discussion because they were like, oh my god, finally, I can't believe it finally happening. We're getting the love aspect in this manga and blah blah blah, and it's so good to see, you know, Ushio or Hinomaru have a person and blah blah blah, and I like seeing her and she's cool blah blah blah. I'm just like, wow, she's been here forever, and I thought that this was something that was already implied. You know what I mean? I didn't realize that shit, but you know, whatever. I really thought that shit was already implied and that shit was there, so I'm tripping. You know, but that's all I really want to talk about. I just kind of want to talk about that because I was interested in the fact that was a talking point or something that was a topic for this manga, specifically because, you know, we got Hinomaru, you know, training, meeting with Yakuzona, fighting his rival, winning, you know what I'm saying, going through training, you know, trying to just be the best that he can, losing his nerve, but gaining it back. And the topic of discussion was, I think he likes her. Like, oh, okay, cool. You know what I mean? Like, alright. But that's all I want to talk about, though, man. Let me know what y'all think about the shit I'm talking about, man. Did y'all feel like it was new? Did y'all feel like that relationship was new, or was that something that was already there? You know, because I thought it was already there. But let me know what you think about shit on VashTheKyd.